In the land of the pharaohs, where the Nile flows like the lifeblood of a civilization, there existed a pantheon of gods, mighty beings who shaped the world and the fate of Egypt. Journey with us into the ancient world of the gods of Egypt, where myth and reality intertwine. Egyptian mythology is more than a collection of stories. It's the framework of a civilization. The gods of Egypt were believed to be omnipresent, governing every aspect of life, death, and the afterlife. At the heart of this pantheon was Ra, the sun god. Ra was revered as the most powerful and significant deity in ancient Egyptian mythology. His influence was so profound that he was often merged with other gods, creating composite deities like Amun-Ra and Atum-Ra. The ancient Egyptians believed that Ra was the creator of everything, the one who brought order to the cosmos and life to the earth. Ra was the supreme deity, the creator and the source of life. He was often depicted with the head of a falcon and a sun disk above his head, symbolizing his dominion over the sky and the sun. The ancient texts and hieroglyphs tell us that Ra created himself from the primordial waters of Nun and then gave birth to the first gods, Shu and Tefnut, who in turn created the earth and the sky. Each day he sailed across the sky, bringing light to the world, and at night he journeyed through the underworld to battle the forces of chaos. This daily voyage was undertaken in his solar bark, known as the Bark of Millions of Years. As he traveled across the sky, he was accompanied by other deities who assisted him in his journey. The sun's movement from east to west was seen as Ra's passage through the heavens, bringing warmth and growth to the land of Egypt. In the underworld, Ra faced Apep, the serpent of chaos, ensuring that light would return each dawn. Apep, also known as Apophis, was a formidable adversary, representing the forces of darkness and disorder. Each night Ra had to defeat Apep to ensure that the sun would rise again. This nightly battle was a crucial aspect of maintaining Ma'at, the ancient Egyptian concept of truth, balance and cosmic order. Ra's daily journey symbolized the eternal cycle of life, death and rebirth. This cycle was not only a natural phenomenon, but also a spiritual one, reflecting the beliefs of the ancient Egyptians in the afterlife and the resurrection of the soul. The rising sun each morning was a powerful symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that life continues despite the challenges and darkness of the night. Temples, tombs and monuments dedicated to Ra were adorned with intricate carvings and paintings that celebrated his divine journey and his role as the sustainer of life. Osiris, the god of the underworld, was both a symbol of death and a promise of resurrection. He was one of the most important deities in ancient Egyptian mythology, revered as the god who presided over the afterlife and the cycle of rebirth. His story is one of betrayal, murder and ultimate triumph over death. Betrayed and murdered by his brother Set, Osiris's body was dismembered and scattered across Egypt. His wife, Isis, with the help of her sister Nephthys, collected the pieces and resurrected him, allowing him to become the ruler of the afterlife. This act of resurrection made Osiris a powerful symbol of eternal life and the hope of rebirth for all Egyptians. Osiris became the ruler of the afterlife, where he judged the souls of the dead. His throne was said to be in the Hall of Judgment, a place where the fate of every soul was decided. The ancient Egyptians believed that the afterlife was a mirror of their earthly existence, and Osiris's role was to ensure that only the righteous could enjoy this eternal paradise. In the Hall of Judgment, Osiris weighed the hearts of the dead against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. This process was known as the weighing of the heart ceremony. The heart, considered the seat of the soul and emotions, was placed on one side of the scale, while the feather of Ma'at was placed on the other. If the heart was lighter than the feather, it meant the soul had led a virtuous life and was worthy of entering the afterlife. However, if the heart was heavier, it indicated a life of sin and deceit. The unworthy souls were devoured by Ammit, a fearsome creature with the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. The goddess Mat represented the fundamental order of the universe, and her feather symbolized truth, balance, and justice. Osiris's judgment was final, and those deemed worthy were granted eternal life in the Field of Reeds, a heavenly paradise where they could live in peace and happiness for eternity. While the unworthy faced oblivion, their souls condemned to wander in darkness or be consumed by Ammit. The story of Osiris and his role in the afterlife was a central part of Egyptian religion and provided a moral framework for the living, encouraging them to lead righteous lives in the hope of a blessed afterlife. Isis, the wife of Osiris and mother of Horus, was the goddess of magic and motherhood. She was revered not just for her role as a mother, but for her incredible power. It was Isis who resurrected Osiris, using her magic to defy death itself. Her magic and devotion to her family made her one of the most beloved goddesses, embodying the strength and protection of the Divine Mother. Horus, the falcon-headed god of the sky, was the avenger of his father Osiris and the protector of the pharaohs. Each pharaoh was seen as the living Horus, embodying his divine right to rule and protect Egypt. Horus's victory over Set, the god of chaos, established him as the rightful ruler of Egypt, symbolizing the triumph of order over chaos. The gods of ancient Egypt were more than myth. They were the foundation of a civilization that lasted thousands of years. These deities were deeply woven into the fabric of daily life, influencing everything from the rise and fall of the Nile to the fate of the pharaohs. Each god and goddess had their own unique attributes and stories, which were passed down through generations, becoming an integral part of Egyptian identity. Their stories of creation, power, and rebirth continue to resonate, echoing through the ages. The tale of Osiris, who was resurrected by his wife Isis, symbolizes eternal life and the cyclical nature of existence. The sun god Ra's daily journey across the sky represents the perpetual struggle between light and darkness. These myths were not just stories, they were a way for the ancient Egyptians to understand the world around them and their place within it. Even today, the legacy of these gods lives on in art, culture, and our understanding of the world. Modern Egyptians still feel a connection to their ancient past, and this is evident in the way they honor their heritage. From the grand temples that attract millions of tourists each year to the intricate jewelry and art that draw inspiration from ancient designs, the influence of these gods is undeniable. Contemporary artists and writers continue to be inspired by the rich tapestry of Egyptian mythology, creating works that pay homage to these timeless stories. The myths of Egypt remind us that the divine once walked among us, leaving a mark that time cannot erase. These stories have transcended millennia, surviving the rise and fall of empires, and continue to captivate our imagination. They serve as a testament to the enduring power of myth and the human desire to seek meaning in the cosmos. As we explore the ruins and relics of this ancient civilization, we are reminded of the profound impact these gods had on the world and how their legacy continues to shape our understanding of history and culture. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the mystical world of the gods of Egypt. Subscribe for more explorations of the myths and legends that shaped our history.